Hello, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at Apollo. He's right behind me, just chilling out. He just got groomed. I will maybe bring him up to the main camera a little later, but he's happy right now where he's at. So here, give him a little belly scratch. Yes. Thanks, buddy. All right, so there's your Apollo fix for the moment here. Let me just put a little support behind my back, and then we're going to get started here. So my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. Welcome to the weekly collective reading, and basically the special topic today is whatever you need to see. I always look through the lens of possibility and positivity as well. So what we're really trying to do here is stay empowered, stay informed, see what's coming through in the next 7 days. I break it down into 3 or 4 major sections. We're going to get started with channeled messages first, then we'll get into a 7-day breakdown. So I've moved to live channeling just because it's more fluid and I don't have to look at all of those bullet points. I can just talk straight to you. So this morning there was a message around basically love and loving yourself, but also expressing appreciation to other people. Remembering to say thank you, I appreciate you, and yes, I love you. Because it's good to receive it, it's also really nice to express it. And it was kind of like the universe was saying that to me and kind of encouraging me to allow you to kind of pay it forward. If we all sort of exhibited more of that behavior, it would just be a nicer world. There's a lot of, not so nice stuff that goes around, whether it's, news or gossip magazines or, someone saying something at work or anything of that nature, and even with political stuff too. It's just, there's a lot. We kind of get inundated by it. So today, really focus on loving and taking care of yourself, and someone in your life express some gratitude. It could be the barista, it could be, your next door neighbor, whoever. Trust me, they need it just as much as you do, okay? And it will feel good to deliver that. And it puts you in the energy and the frequency of love, and that Ace of Cups energy in the upright position, which if I was picking a card, that's what it would be. Ace of Cards, Ace of Cards, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords. So that's message number 1, is to exude that energy of love. Then I saw something that had to do with being excluded, and I did see that an ability to come back. There are a couple reasons this could be happening. So for some of you, really pay attention to rules. So if you're involved in a sport or an activity or something of that, or even a competition, it felt like it was something like that where different groups were trying to vie for attention. Make sure that you're following instructions. There could be something that takes you out of the race, so to speak, for a little bit, but then I saw you returning. But maybe some of you are also tired of playing games. Back when I was trying to get my first book published, I remember one of the agent's assistants saying, "It's just a waiting game now." And this was one moment where I was like, I should have just let it go. But I said, honestly, I'm not really interested in playing games. You're either interested or you're not. She said, well, then we're not. I said, okay, thanks. So much easier. Maybe it was harder for her to say that, but I actually knew that anyway. And I just wanted to hear the rejection so I could be released. So you may also be in that mindset where you're just kind of tired of the games. And I totally respect that. I've been there, as you can see. And sometimes it's better to hear it if you need to. But if you've gotten to that point, you kind of already know. So that's the next message there. Now, tuning in the moment with everybody that's present. The other thing that I'm paying attention to, I'm just seeing movement in the feet and the legs. So for some of you, this could be a call to just sort of be less stationary if you have a job where you're sitting a lot, but it could also be taking the first steps, kind of like the Fool card. And so if there's something that you've been dragging your feet on, now is the time to take that first step. We're out of retrograde, we're out of the shadow. It's a good month. I've been liking the energy that I've been seeing so far. So I feel like let's get to it. And I think that's a great segue into the 7-day forecast. So we're going to take a look now at the next 7 days, helping you navigate and see what's coming through. All right, let me move this to the side. Let's get it with the keyboard. Let's see which, I think we're going to use this deck. All right. No more games, indeed. Sometimes it has to be said, right? Okay. one for today. I love that we got the Sun card showing all that strength and power. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Interesting. Saturday and Sunday. All right, let's get these cards aligned so we can see them. And let's get started, folks. Okay, so we're going to begin with the energy of this Sunday. And look at what we got here. The sun, or the sun of life on this particular deck. And look at how bright and strong and brilliant that energy is. Today is a great day for birthing, beginning. Honestly, this is one of the greatest cards for meeting someone because in some decks you'll actually see the lovers, but the reason it's effective is chemistry and interaction, and people are kind of drawn into your orbit, just like the sun draws objects into its orbit. So today you have a great capacity to begin, to collaborate, to organize, and yes, to connect. So the sky is the limit, whatever you want to focus on today. The energy, it is around the heart, so that aligns with what I was talking about. But if I was illustrating this, I might have put it around the solar plexus. It just kind of makes sense. But put your heart into it, but also bring your conversations, your idea, bring everything from the sense of, I've got this, confidence. And that will help too. So we need to see another one around the solar plexus. But anyway, beautiful illustration. Love what we see on this. Great day for beginnings. So let's get started. That's what I said earlier. All right. Looking at the next day of the week, the first day of the work week, we have the Three of Swords, everybody's favorite card. All right, so Three of Swords, it is reversed, and this is allowing you to release anything in your life that doesn't serve your highest good. We see on this card a call to really focus on people that might be exuding the energy of jealousy. So if you're doing well, see, this may have nothing to do with you personally. It might just be someone around you that's unhappy. In that case, it's not, you don't have to apologize for being in a good space. If other people have a hard time with that, that's what it is. This also is helping you transmute any jealousy or pain that you might have and use it as motivation. So invariably, we're going to find ourselves in situations where we're not happy. And if we're unhappy, then the universe is sort of saying, what are you going to do to release that or get out of that energy? If you find yourself feeling a little bit jealous of someone else's success or movement, you could also simply think, okay, I could instead be inspired by what they have. How can I start to create that in my life? What do I want to do? So it's basically decision time. What are you going to do to get more into the energy of positivity, of elation, of hope, things of that nature? Also just healing. You might be on the heels of something in your life that just didn't go as planned. And, you know, grieving and healing from something like that takes time. Be gentle with yourself on Monday. Okay? Tuesday is interesting. We have the Two of Swords here for Tuesday. So lots of twos. And something isn't measuring up. Something isn't adding up. And for some of you, it could be it just isn't fair. You don't understand why you got into this situation. You may even be thinking to yourself, this isn't right. This isn't fair. I need to fix this. And so you have two options when that kind of energy comes through. You can move forward with it or you can ignore it. Two of Swords typically is someone trying to push it under the rug and ignore it. But the advice here is not to do that. It's to take up one of those swords or arrows and say, all right, I'm going to go in this direction. And you're not always going to have all of the information as you are an adult. Sometimes when you make a decision, there's still going to be some unknowns. Make your best guess and don't beat yourself up. You don't have to be perfect. You're just working with the available data, and at some point you have to move forward. This is a great day to be curious, to really speak up, and to, if there's something that doesn't feel right, just call it out. So inquisitive, clear, and I think even curious too, like, why are we doing this? You can ask a question. Sometimes people don't want to hear that person in the room that's asking that. They're like, let's just move forward, but that could be the voice of reason, so you might have to speak up. Okay, midweek, better. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles here is a great energy to help you connect with others, and that's really what this card is inviting. So this is a kind of isolated Ten of Pentacles. We see someone coming out of a hermit phase almost in this energy, and it is an invitation for those of you that tend to work or spend a lot of time in one space or at home to sort of shake it up a little bit and meet and greet and mix and mingle. Because in the traditional, let me see if I can find out what we're talking. In the traditional Ten of Pentacles, you're going to see people of all walks of life, friends, family members, co-workers. And so it doesn't matter like with whom you connect, but like connect with somebody. This is also a day where you don't have to do it all alone. 10 of Wands and 10 of Pentacles in reverse. You're sometimes shouldering an unfair amount of energy. So see how we have children, dogs, elders, and peers on this card. You don't have to do it alone. That's the big takeaway here. And sometimes the minute you get out, your perspective changes. You don't feel as isolated as this 10 of Pentacles looks, right? So yeah, it's time to explore a little bit. Also, it could be for some of you a change of direction. You know, when I was pulling a card for the daily card reading for today, one of the cards flipped around. I just did the Taurus one. I have to edit it and put the time codes in. It's done, but I think there was a flip in that deck too. So I'm seeing the energy this month being very fluid and moving, and this week we see Wednesday as a turning point. It's interesting here because some of you are weighing out like a very difficult decision. It feels like it's going to be all right. Don't what's the best word here? Don't give in to pressure, because this can also be family or peer pressure trying to get you to go down a path that doesn't feel right for you. So be strong. All right, let's look at Thursday. In Thursday's energy, we have the Queen of Wands. She's one of my favorite cards. And the card is in the reverse state here, and it's about listening. I mean, we couldn't have bigger ears if we tried on this particular hair. Queen of Wands is really good with coming up with new ideas and, of course, leadership. So as a good leader, one of the things that you have to do is listen. If you're in a place where your leader doesn't listen to you, or if you're in a family where the matriarch or patriarch isn't listening to you, this is a day to try to get their attention, but to also realize, you know, this is stubbornness too. So you can't change people to some degree. Like, they have to want to change. And I'm getting the vibe here that there's someone that is very set on their way or the highway. And so you may have to just sort of follow your own instincts and diverge in paths, or you're going to fight and stand up for yourself. But this is a person who really probably needs to see it rather than hear it. Queen of Swords, you can talk to her. Queen of Wands, you got to show her. She's like, I'll believe it when I see it. Show me. So, you know, visual aids, prototypes, real life examples, anything that you can do to kind of bring it to them. Skeptic is what I'm getting here. So it could also be you. And one thing that the universe is reminding you is that you never know unless you open your heart and open your mind to the possibilities. So stay open, stay as open-minded as you can, try your best to help others to see something. But at the end of the day, if the door is shut, you don't have to be the one. I always say, follow the energy. So if the energy is not connecting in one direction, that's okay. That's your message. Try another path. There's plenty of paths out there. Okay. Let's look at Friday. We have the Devil card. It's an interesting one in this deck. So on Friday, we have the Guardian, aka the Devil. And everyone has a skeleton in their closet, and that's basically what this is. So one thing that this is reminding you, since it's reversed, someone may be in a vulnerable state, something may come out, someone was hiding something. Find out why they were hiding it, or why there was a lack of, transparency or truth. Sometimes it's for self-preservation. So someone may have been afraid to share that skeleton in their closet, and so when they do share it, let's say they finally do come to you and you're like, the initial thought is, why didn't I hear this sooner? Think instead, think like it must have been hard for them to tell me. How could I have made it easier for them? Like, try to put yourself in their shoes. So for some of you, it could just be someone that gets the courage to say something. So rather than judging what they just said, say, thank you for telling me. I wish you could have told me sooner. That's it. Sometimes that's all, and I love you, and let's talk more about it. But like, sometimes people need the reassurance that they're still welcome. Now, for everyone else, it's about seeing something that isn't going to be a match. It could be a relationship or a job where you've tried, but that person isn't able to give you what you want. They may be unavailable. The devil can be someone who's attached to someone else, or their mind is elsewhere, or they don't want to get married, or they don't want to have a kid, or something like that. The job, they're happy to keep you as a freelancer, but they'll never hire you, or something like that, and it's just not enough. There could be something where you're worth more, and Friday you realize it, and that skeleton is out of the closet, and it gives you the freedom you need to move on. Just like I knew that with that one person, I'm like, I'm not playing games. I got to move on. So sometimes we just have to move on, and Friday may be that day for some of you. Looking into the deep past here, I love what I see for next Saturday. We have the Lovers, or the Forest Lovers in this deck. The card is reversed. It's really interesting that it comes on the heels of the Devil. And if we look closely in this card, we see someone that is bound here, and having chains or binding sort of energy is part of the Devil. This is it's reversed, so it's releasing that need to control. By the way, the Devil's also control. Unconditional love, set someone free. And if they really need or want to come back, they will. And if they don't, you're free, they're free, etc. There could be love coming into your life where someone is on the heels of a bad breakup or a bad situation, and they need time. I've talked about my dog Apollo when I first adopted him. He's a rescue. It took time for him to come to life a little bit because he was afraid. So there could just be someone that's afraid, and you're giving them again that energy of being welcomed. Could be you. Love could come through again, but you have to be open to it. This could simply be a feeling of I'm not ready or I'm not worthy, in which case that is something you can manage. It's just one step at a time, like I saw in the channeled messages. This is a really magnetic card, just like I was talking about the sun being very magnetic. The Lovers is in a very similar way magnetic because people are attracted to you. They just love you and they want to be around you. So open up a little bit. A lot of like getting out of a hermit phase. That is very hermit-like. This is very hermit-like. And it's, I think, coming from this, which is fear of something happening again that you don't want to happen. The past is in the past. This is by far my favorite Queen of Pentacles. So a week from today, next Sunday, we have the Queen of Pentacles, rather, and she's protecting herself. She's a mama bear. So this may be you deciding to really create a boundary and say, no, don't cross that line, particularly when it comes to children, family, something that you've created, someone that you love. We all have that inner hibernating bear that can come out. Be mindful of it. Could be temper that wants to flare up. So the only thing you just want to kind of walk the line of being stern versus being aggressive, right? This is a really good day to nurture yourself. This is typically a very maternal card. Interestingly enough, although they put that rabbit on the Queen of Wands, usually it's on the Queen of Pentacles. So I'll find it while we're talking. But usually there's a little tiny rabbit by her throne. And so abundance is ready to come through. The challenge is believing that something could happen sooner. Sometimes we think it's never going to happen, or why isn't it happening? We had that injustice card that came through earlier in the week. So instead, you're going to start to think, I'm powerful, I'm ready, let's do this. I think that the let's do this piece is really, really great. And then things start to hop and skip into motion. So here you can see Queen of Pentacles, and it's on that side, that little bunny rabbit in the corner. Depending which deck you use, it's kind of hidden, but this deck does a good job of showing it. Why is there a rabbit? Because they multiply. So things can happen faster and with more abundance than you would think of normally. So there you go. There could be also like a birthing or creation energy, pregnancy as well, coming through on that day. So good stuff overall. But you have to take care of yourself first. Let's look at highlights and lowlights, and then we'll move on to the elements. Okay, highlights for the week. Today is, I think, ostensibly the best day here with the sun. Like the sun for Sun's Day, the Sunday. So it's perfectly aligned with all of us connecting and being here. I think that also next Sunday is pretty darn good, and Wednesday is good because we have lots of abundance coming through on those days. Challenges, Monday and Tuesday and Friday. They're not unmanageable though. Monday is healing, Tuesday is decision time, and Friday is letting go of control of something, or seeing that something just isn't good enough. And otherwise, it's all manageable. So I like what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and create some space here for the next portion. We're going to move on to the elements, and basically the elements will help us look a little deeper at fire, earth, air, and water. It's the only part of today's reading that is going to be specific to signs. All right, so let's see. I'm deciding which deck to use. I'll use this one. Okay. All right. So, fire, earth, air, and water. We're going to read them as upright because they were all reversed, and I usually will, if in something this small, not put that much attention to that. Okay, let's begin first with fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay, we have the Five of Wands. Again, I'm just going to turn these upright, but I'll talk about the hesitation or the challenges. I'm going to read them as a slight challenge. Okay, Five of Wands. There might be a lack of collaboration, cooperation, and leadership. That's typically one of the biggest challenges in the Five of Wands. So with that, I would say simply focus on doing your part and not worrying too much about what other people are saying or doing, just allowing them to, you're kind of like staying in your swim lane a little bit, okay? So the other thing that I would say with the Five of Wands is, what is your motivation, right? What is it that you are trying to do in this moment in time? And as you get clearer on that, it's going to allow you to step into a role of leadership. The next one is Six of Wands. So when you get out of the weeds, when you get out of the thicket, it allows you then to step into something more powerful, more clear, and some good stuff starts to happen. Other things with the Five of Wands, there are different paths. It's hard to see on this, but under each of these hands is a different path. So we're trying to find where they converge and trying to find common points of interest. Five of Wands can also be this feeling of being stuck in a hamster wheel. So if there's anything in your life where you're just working and working and working but not making progress, put it to the side for a moment and know that you've done enough for today, and then focus again where the energy is. I think that's going to be really, really advantageous, okay? Let's see what else. You know what? It's okay for people to have a differing point of view. We don't have to have everybody agree, right, all the time. So I think one of the things here that you can do is simply understand that you can agree to disagree, and that's going to help you out, especially when you're in a larger group with diverse experiences and backgrounds. Everybody's going to have a different perspective. I do think you can get a lot of work done. It feels like that could be the challenge, that you're expected to complete a lot. Pace yourself, focus on where your energy really is most drawn to, and you'll eventually get to the 6, 7, and 8 of Wands. So one step at a time, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. All right, let's move on now from fire to earth, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, major changes. So the Tower is coming through as something that you can, because you're looking at this in advance, because it did come through reversed, this is a chance for you to make a necessary change. Here's the cool thing with the Tower. When something comes through in our life and there's nothing that we can do to solve it, like it's clear, it basically, you have to move forward, you have to make a change. I recently went through one of those where I had to move, and I literally lived the Tower where everything was destroyed, and I had to kick myself into a new trajectory. And I survived, and I'm stronger for it, actually. My intuition's actually stronger. I was actually gifted as a sort of, I had a close call, like with health. I was shown with my guides that there was even like a liminal space that was being set up in case I didn't get out of there on time. So I'm happy that I did, but my intuition strengthened a bit because of that. And so sometimes a Tower moment can be a quickening moment where you become a stronger, better version of yourself, and it asks us to shed unnecessary baggage. So for those of you that really resonated with that Devil card towards the end of the week, this Tower is saying it is time to let it go, to move in a new direction. The longer you stay there, the more it irritates you. It's agitating. So this can also be an environment, whether it's work, school, or relationship, where you just feel that sense of, I can't focus, I can't concentrate, I'm agitated. So it's okay to move on. For the rest of you, this is a reset. I like to think of it as a surfer on a wave. And so you've decided possibly to start a new job. Maybe you just graduated. Maybe you just had a child. Maybe the best possible thing in your life just happened. A ton of abundance came through. And now everything changed. That's what happens to people that get rapid success. It can be a tower too. So don't lose your footing, one step at a time. And that's why that came through. Let's make this a smooth landing. It can be life-changing or life-affirming, but it doesn't have to be chaotic. Let's avoid chaos this week. A good week for spring. It's not. Well, actually, I guess for the southern hemisphere, we're getting close to spring. So yeah, figuratively speaking, spring cleaning. So you're going into your closet, getting rid of old stuff. You're going into your finances, getting rid of things that are a drag on the finances, things of that nature. This is also good. I feel like all of you are perfectly oriented towards Virgo and Capricorn for that. Stay grounded, stay organized, you'll be fine. Okay, let's move on to the air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I love what I see here. 10 of Pentacles, a rainbow after a period of challenge. And we had that in the midweek here, the 10 of Pentacles, Wednesday, right? So this is a chance. This is what I was talking about. You have two different versions of the 10 of Pentacles. One that's showing isolation, one that's showing partnership. I think it's more powerful to go the route of partnership. Let other people in, let them participate, give some feedback, help you out. It's going to strengthen projects, ideas. Some of you might be actually moving in with somebody as well. Or starting a new job. So the tower energy, it's just a little more grounded here for the air signs. You're seeing it as a more welcome change, but we get change energy for both because 10 is completion, ends and beginnings. A really great time to look at money, opportunities, work, and personal development. So it's a good week for the air signs. Don't give in to peer pressure. It was initially reversed, but we're turning them because I don't want to read all four upside down. So I'll give you that area of opportunity, and it's peer pressure. Okay, let's take a look at water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have the Sun or the Knight of Wands, and this is your chance to forge ahead, to lead the sort of charge here, if you will. This is a really good time to take an idea, a project, or anything that you want and just do it. It's not about talking it through. It's not about looking at all the numbers. It's just about getting started. It's almost like you find your way a bit as you start the progress. So for some of you that are creative and you need to just put it on paper and then make sense of it, the alignment here is definitely making sense here. This is also a chance for you to really focus on the horizon. So goals, setting goals and setting these sort of milestones so that you feel productive and again, getting organized, but this is more in your in what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So a very productive week for water signs. And people are ready to connect with you as well, okay? Good energy for just about everyone. I think the most challenging one was that Tower card. And like I said, sometimes we just have to sort of like see it as like, this is necessary. I can't make this perfect. I can't make this work. I have to move in a new direction, and that is okay. Okay, welcome everybody. If you just joined, perfect timing. We're getting into the special topic here in just a moment. Special topic today is whatever you need to see, you're gonna see. So I'm just getting organized on the table, and then we're gonna get started on that. If you enjoy this, by the way, do me a favor. It's absolutely free. Please like and subscribe. And I'm trying to get the graphic up here. So like and subscribe, helps the channel growth. We're close to a milestone. I think we're edging up on 400K, which I can't believe. So once I do that, I'll do something special. Let's make it happen. It'd be great to do it by the end of the year, but whenever, it's all good. All right, let's focus here on the special topic. If you could just close your eyes for a moment, I would like you to clear your mind of any preconceived ideas, anything that might be floating through your head. Just let it go. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, great. On the exhale, open your eyes and let's get started here. I see some people that are kind of like in a not so positive space. Let's try to stay positive as I'm pulling the cards, and just let the messages come through, and we'll take it one step at a time, folks. That's the message for today. And really stay in the affirmative. That helps. It helps the energy of the reading. It also helps you see what's possible. I love that love came through on that catalyst energy. Let's get this all set up. We're going to begin first with the catalyst energy. All right, so the catalyst. Hello, hello. It's nicely aligned with what we were talking about. Loving all that is, being in the energy and the flow of love. Your meditation this morning can simply be, and it may be hard. It sounds easy, but it's not. You don't have to look in a mirror, just looking inward and saying, I love and accept myself. I love and respect myself. And I'm ready to receive others that do the same, love themselves and love me. Like, we need that self-respect and the energy of love, giving and receiving. And really kind of, I always like to see cups as satellites as well, because you're broadcasting from the heart, but you're also receiving. So you have to get in that positive transmission. And that's the only reason I was looking at chat for a second. I'm like, someone's spiraling? We can't spiral in the chat. We have to keep it positive, because it's taking away from the message, and you're not listening then when you're spiraling. So what we want to do is change the satellite around to receive. A lot of this kind of collective is to receive inspiration, support from one another, including myself, and to allow yourself to be in a better state. And so for at least the next 30 minutes, I want everybody here to just think, it's whatever it is that you're trying to do, it's possible. And then just be open to more possibilities. Just be open to the information. Whatever needs to come through, that's literally the title. So that's all I'm asking of everybody today, is just to be open. Okay, put this here. Let's start with your center card. I mean, it's so interesting that we keep getting the same message again and again. We have the 10 of Pentacles, also reversed. Third time it came through, reversed, 3 decks. I've shuffled them all, so we're paying attention to it loud and clear this time. In this particular one, it's like this younger person has an idea or has energy, and they're being scolded here, and it's kind of like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I do feel that there could be a challenge for some of you, either with a maternal, paternal figure, an authority figure, someone at work, someone in your life that they're a gatekeeper, because this is also in an archway, and they just don't want to see it from a new perspective. So be it. There are some people that just can't get it through their skull, and that's okay. That's their path, but it doesn't have to be something that brings you that sense of frustration. Also, there comes a point when you are a full-grown adult, and sometimes people still want to parent you or kind of like treat you like you're not. So what this card is acknowledging is the level of maturation that you've reached, and the fact that sometimes people in your life are just used to seeing you in the younger state, and it's like, I'm not a kid anymore. So with that comes responsibility. You can do whatever you want, but it's going to be, you just really have to lean on yourself in that situation. It's not always easy, I know. 10 of Pentacles is also an opportunity. Now, don't sell yourself short. Make sure you're getting what you deserve, particularly when it comes to negotiations. This is a very good card for that. We'll look at it more when I go into business and finance, but I will say overall, this is a card of possibilities. So you get to define this. You get to decide. And it's so interesting that, I mean, we got it in the weekly forecast. Now we're getting it in this. We also have the two of, well, it's the Two of Pentacles here, more twos. I was thinking Two of Swords. This really helps you make a choice, though. You can't do everything. You can't be everything to everyone. I think that for some of you, it's going to be easier because we saw that the Tower came through. So something fell to the side, then you'll focus on what is still available. For some of you, you're still in that juggling POV where you're trying to make it all work, but it's a house of cards. So focus on one thing. Where do you really feel drawn energetically? Where are people receiving your energy? And what do you just feel the most attached to? That's where, because these are two seeds, two possibilities. You need to be able to fully take one of those seeds and water it and grow it and put your energy into it. So choose wisely, but make a choice. This is a week also to not overextend in time, energy, money, or any sort of resource. So basically saying no, it's necessary and it's good and it's healthy. And that's about as much as I can say with that. Be mindful of travel because Two of Pentacles can sometimes show, like there could be a change in itinerary basically, or you might need to allow for a little bit more contingency. So make sure you have a credit card, make sure if there's a delay that you can make the connecting flight, things of that nature. So that's what I'm picking up on with that. Okay, let's look at your deep past, karmic energy. What do you need to focus on? Taking care of yourself and speaking up. It's mostly finding your voice. Page of Swords is about communication. When the card is reversed, it's initiating and fostering and kind of like connecting with that voice that sometimes we are told to mute. So definitely speak up and speak more often and be kind to yourself and be kind to others. So this is avoiding things that are self-deprecating. It's avoiding people around you that only give critical without a constructive element and just taking it with a grain, or in this case, a mountain of salt, because it's not worth the time and energy. Also, if you just need to say something, not beating around the bush, just saying, basically being both concise and succinct, that's going to be advantageous. Okay. Let's see what's coming through in the recent past. Oh, this is cool. So in this particular deck, we have bonus cards, I think 2 to 3. So we have the Artist coming through. The Artist was reversed. Some of you are reconnecting with your muse, with your inner artist. It's interesting that we have like Hermes or Mercury coming through, and we just had a card of communication. Let's put some heart energy into it, some love into it. This is going to help you also get rid of some of the stress that you're doing. So any artistic venture, the artist could be music, dance, writing. It could also be anything that I haven't mentioned that is a creative expression, including acting too, all of that. So connect with your inner artist and your inner composer and whatever it is that needs to be said and expressed. This is a great time to do so. And it's also kind of acknowledging your sensitivity and your connection to source. Art is a beautiful connection to source because it's just expression, it's just direct channeling. How do you think musicians come up with things in their sleep? Or some artists are just able to kind of like create something amazing. It's their connection to source. All right, let's take a look at your crowning card. We have Strength. Definitely this is a time to take care of physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Also, it's a time to kind of look at people in your life and think, how much do I want to, sort of try to get them to agree with me or see it from my perspective? Because the Strength energy can represent a very strong, formidable force in your life, and they're used to getting it their way. What's cool, and it's not an accident that I said your way, both people are winning in this card. Usually the lion is being, what's the best word, controlled. And remember how we saw the skeleton, aka death card, that came through, and it was about not trying to be controlled or control someone else. And it was all about unconditional love. So releasing that need to control. You can take my advice or leave it. The door is open. That, to me, I'll always go back to someone like that because, they'll say, I've been through this. And when you're ready to listen, I'm here. But Sometimes, people just have to find something out on their own, and I get it. I can't find the card while we're talking, but it's all right. Normally, the hands of this woman is in the mouth of this, and I always say that there's a diminishing return on that kind of investment, because invariably you are taking risks, you're spending a lot of energy, and sometimes when you win, you lose. Sometimes when you lose, you win. So fight your battles wisely and take care of yourself. And this can also just be focusing on physical strength. So maybe you're working out a little bit more, sleeping better, eating better, all of those things. One thing that I do love about strength, though, even if it is tough and it takes a lot, anything that comes across your path this week, you can handle. That is the one person that I would want on my team for sure in the major arcana. If I had that injustice, of course, if I had to fight something, a battle, a challenge, something, because strength, you'll get through it. You'll find a way. Justice, she'll fight as well for you. Those are the two guardians there that you really want on your side in the major arcana. Okay, letting go, the devil here. In the near future, there could be something that just isn't adding up. You're holding on, but you shouldn't. And you want it to change, but it's not. So now it's time. It's time to advocate for your full worth. You're worth more. If you're working and not getting paid enough, if you're in a relationship and you're doing the lion's share, no pun intended, because we just looked at the lion. If you're just tired, you're like, why am I continuing to do it? Pay attention to all of those flags, red flags, and eventually just think, okay, now I know what I want to do. When am I going to make the change? For some of you, it's the tower, because we saw it earlier, and you're just going to do it now. For some of you, you're going to be strategic and say, okay, I can wait a week or two or a month or two, but it's not forever. It's time. One of the general themes today is it's time, and you're doing it because you love and respect yourself. This is also holding on to stress, and it can manifest in your body. We'll talk more about that when we get into health, but that's why the artist card and the love card came through. Okay, looking at you, self-care. I feel like this has been a constant theme in my daily readings for at least the past week or so. So taking care of yourself, however you need to do that, getting a massage, getting acupuncture, sleeping in, like I said, just, the day ago, or deciding like, I just need to take a couple of hours and do something for me. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to go to a movie. I'm going to listen to the radio, whatever you want to do. Take care of yourself. And ask for whatever it is that you need. So the Empress, one of the strongest cards when it comes to being a leader, but also a caretaker. And I'm getting more of the caretaking energy here. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Take care of your body. And if you won't do it, who else is going to? You've got to do that. And especially, by the way, for caretakers, whether you're taking care of a child or a parent as you get older, your health is so important, because if you're not there and healthy, who's going to take care of them? So that's why you want to make sure that you're getting everything you need and then you help them. I know it sounds contradictory, but you have to take care of yourself because you're the pillar, you're the support. Okay, environmentally. Could be new lover relationships coming through. We got the Lovers earlier. Now we have the Four of Wands. It's also reversed. Self-worth is playing a big role today and this week. So suffice it to say, like, Spirit wants to convey this to you. You are lovable. You are worthy. But are you ready? If you're ready, the stage is set. We don't see the people there yet. That does not mean that they aren't coming. The Four of Wands can take many forms. In that deck that I was reading with earlier, there's a fiery Four of Wands where people are partying and they're like front and center. But usually back and middle ground and the front's empty. It's normal to have to wait sometimes a little bit when you're creating the right space in business, in relationships, in life. You do the work inward, you set the stage around you, and if you build it, they will come. That's your sort of your mantra. You know that it's all written. You're ready to receive now. And that's kind of what I see here. In a new relationship, don't push. Get a chance to know that person. The fact that we had like the Devil, and then a very similar energy with the Lovers. Now we have the Four of Wands. We need to make sure that you're ready to receive and they're ready to give, because something could be off a little bit, and that also could be what's going here. You're trying to find the perfect balance. And we get there, actually, if we add up the 4 and the 2, we have 6 of Pentacles, which is balance in tarot. And then you can kind of really embrace the energy of the center card, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, what's all of this leading up to? Hope, spheres, and opportunities. Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is in the reverse state. It's okay to let it out. So some of you might be airing your concerns or your grievances. You might also be opening up to just sort of say, I'm not happy. And you're also allowing yourself to go down a path here that is fulfilling. If you've done everything for everybody, when are you going to start to do some stuff for you? Who says this? When are you going to love you as much as I do? It's Tori Amos. There's a song, Winter, and she's talking to her father in the song. And actually her father's answering back. It's kind of like call and answer. And he says, when are you going to love you as much as I do? So you've got to learn to love yourself. The whole idea of the Winter song is that one day he's not going to be there. So she has to find within herself this strength and love and not wait forever to be happy. One of her best songs by far. So anyway, Knight of Cups, take action today to love yourself and to take care of your emotions and your mental well-being, your mental health. Here we go again. They all came through. So hello, synchronicities. Hashtag synchronicities. 3 of Swords. Here it is again, and it's in the outcome. If you make the changes, this won't happen. Something needs to shift so that you're just feeling a sense of satisfaction, of love. I think many of you also need to take a break. The next card in this suit is 4 of Swords, which is sleep and rest and release. And it kind of gives us the answer for the 3 of Swords. So you may be working too much. You may be giving too much. You may be worried too much. Rest a little bit, take it easy. That's why even in chat, when I saw someone that was having some difficulties, I'm like, just breathe, step back from the keyboard and just receive. It'll help. So there you go. But this is a perfect time, again, for self-care. It's coming through loud and clear on multiple channels here. Let's go ahead and expand this a little bit deeper to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start off with health, which is your mind, your body, and your spirit. Let's see what's in the oracle card here. Oh, we love it. It's Artemis. Individuation. It's an interesting word. So Artemis, I would connect her with the moon as well, and hunting, of course. So if there's something that you're trying to get in your life, now is the time to go for it. The card is reversed. So for many of you, it may be difficult to ask, to pursue, to initiate, but she's kind of coming through like a Queen of Swords reversed and saying it's okay to do that as well. Whenever I see arrows, they are swords as well. So she would be a queen because she's a deity. So this is your chance to really say, and she's targeting it with the bow and arrow. This is what I want. This is when I want it. This is how it's going to happen. Like really connecting with your power and your solar plexus, which we got for today when I was looking at the 7-day forecast. You have a chance to kind of define what it is that you want, the individual portion of that coming through, being an individual. And this is very much connected to what I was talking about with peer pressure and family pressure. And I feel some of you like breaking out of the mold. And now we're getting back into sort of like health and mental well-being here, which makes sense. So standing up for yourself, taking a path, walking down a path that is right for you, but may not be right for everybody else. That's another song. I'm just spewing out song lyrics today. They're coming through me. I can't remember which one that is. But anyway, yes, it's important to do what's right for you, okay? Because this is your life. And it's interesting. All of my family is in spirit now. There was a brother before I was born that passed, my mother and my father, so I have this spiritual army. But on the other side, they come through often with messages, and it's interesting how there's much more love and acceptance and understanding from that perspective because they see it. They see the wide lens. Unfortunately, on this planet, while we're in our bodies, not everyone has their third eye wide open. And it's harder, right? It's harder for them to see you. Trust that one day that will be there, and then that gives you permission to not have to explain it to the world and back. Like, you'll get it one day, whether it's now while you're living or when you're in spirit. I don't need to fight this fight right now. Focus on other things. Okay, let's look at what's coming through for your health and well-being. Don't overdo it. This is not the week to work too many hours. It could lead to getting a cold, to making a mistake. It's not worth it. There's not a return on it, so don't overwork. I mentioned here, there might be too many family gatherings or family things going on right now. You can say no to some of those. You can stand up for yourself as well. Again, it's a matriarch or patriarch sort of energy that's coming through, and I think that that's really, really, it can be challenging, especially if it is a mother, an aunt, or an older sister or something. You know, they may have known better when you were younger, but now you know best for yourself. And again, I was talking to somebody recently, but I don't think we can sometimes realize fully our own strength until we have to stand up on our own. So I would say the last 2 years have been the toughest and also like the best on a soul level. I feel like I've gone through 4 PhD programs in figuring out how to take care of myself, what I need to do, how to have better boundaries, and also that I can do it. And when there's a mess, I'm the only one that can fix it. You know, yes, I can connect with other people, but like I have to depend on myself in a way that I haven't before because there is nobody to call. And so now I've just gotten super strong. I didn't know I was that strong. So some of you may be in that energy. If you are estranged from a family member, if you are recently divorced, if you are kind of orphaned energetically, then you'll be okay. Trust me, you can. It's not easy at the beginning, but you can find the strength. So we get a lot of energy around family and peers and sometimes some of those bonds falling away, but you're strong. You're very strong, stronger than you think, okay? Now that we're in health, the 4 of Pentacles, we'll talk about it. If you hold on to stress, it finds a way to manifest. For everybody, that manifestation will be different. It could be grinding your teeth. It could be holding it in your shoulders. It could be in your lower back. I'm going to buy myself a new chair over the next week because I need more lumbar support. It could be also like a lack of sleep. Whatever's coming through, it's because of what you're holding on to. So whatever that is, that is just the reaction. But we got to go to the root, the symptom. So I'd like you to spend some time this week and think, what's making me sleepless? What's causing this sense of disconnection? Apollo just came back behind us, so we'll look at him for some. Wait, where did you move? He's behind the camera. Or the camera's not on right now, so I'll pick him up later. But yes, it's time for stress relief. It's time to let go a little bit and just allow yourself the time and space that you need to let go. And that's why that 3 of Swords came through. And I mentioned that the next phase in this is just release, is just letting go. 3 of Swords also has to do for some of you with, it could be a family history of hypertension, high blood pressure, blood sugar. And if that's going on, please take some time to take care of that. Because again, this kind of goes back to the caretaker thing. You have to really make sure that you are, you're not sacrificing your own happiness and health for the well-being of others. Easier said than done, I know. But, you know, again, at the end of the day, you've got to depend on yourself and give yourself the love and support that you need. What we also see here is, interestingly enough, with this card, I'm also getting like back to the solar plexus. There could be some issues going on with your solar plexus or stomach. And it also, this could be even like control issues going back to family again. So if that's going on, having better limits, and again, I think putting a line in the sand is going to be key here. Otherwise, I think we've covered everything and it's pretty manageable here. Speaking up, saying no, advocating for yourself, and never underestimating your own personal strength. Very key. All right, I got it working. Apollo's resting behind us now. And we should all be so lucky, but he's absolutely in the energy of the Four of Swords. So give yourself a time to take a nap, even if it is just 15 minutes or 1 hour. Very, very important. Let's now segue into the next portion. We'll go into wealth, which is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. I love this. This deck has really lush cards, but it also has simple cards like this. So the card was reversed, but it says simplicity. And it's kind of like one of those ink blot things that you can kind of make whatever you want it to be. I'm looking at the bird in the background though, and this is a time to spread your wings and simplify. The card is reversed, so don't make it complicated, folks, when it comes to what it is you want to do. We're looking at wealth. So sometimes we think that it has to be all of this, there has to be all these layers of complexity. Not really. Be yourself. When you're communicating, communicate more clearly with less cursive language. Have you ever heard the singers that they mush the words in their mouth so much that you don't know what they're saying? So yeah, don't speak in cursive. Speak clearly. Speak in broad strokes so that people can understand it. Paint in broad strokes. Keep it simple. I love that. This could also be looking at for students especially, we'll look at you in a separate moment, but I have to say this right now. Less is more. So not so many extracurriculars. Even for those of you that might be looking at colleges and you're in high school and you're trying to do all these extracurricular things, enjoy this last year. Enjoy the moment. There's too much going on. Less. Let's do less, but do it better. 3 categories. Those that are employed, those that are job seeking, students and retirees. I already hit on students just a little bit. Okay, focusing first on those that are employed. What do we see here? Okay, if you're currently working, I don't feel like some of you aren't getting enough. It could be in the form of, if you're getting paid a lot, because we see that, then you're not getting enough support. Or you have too many things and it's just not going to pan out. So I think the first and most important thing is just to have a heart-to-heart with the manager or whoever it is that you're working with or for and say, this is what I can do well this week. This is what I might need some assistance with. What's the priority, or how can I get some help? That's a very mature way to do it. I just recently met with a boss, and this was my first boss at the job that I loved, like when I first came out of college. But one thing that I did really well there, and I don't know why I did it, it was just instinct, but intuition. But I used to do at the very morning, I would come in like 10 or 15 minutes early, and I would give a status report. I finished this. You mentioned this yesterday. I also got an email request for this. I'm going to start with this now until you come in. Let me know what my agenda should be after that. Like, it was very, that was good. I don't know. I just kind of figured out that person needed an organized person. So I helped them make their job easier. And then they could say, oh, everything looks good, but I want you to do this instead of this. So then I wasn't getting micromanaged. I think that was probably why I did it too. And they knew they didn't have to worry about me. So you can do this. Say, here's what I've got. Here's what's just over here. And this doesn't look as important, but you're the boss. So tell me what the priorities are. And then they can't get angry. And then you are communicating where the lack is going to be, that there's probably no way that 11th item on the wish list is going to happen. So just get really organized, present it. And if they still have a problem with that, that is on them. That is not on you. And don't get bothered. Don't worry. Sometimes you have to let it not happen, and then they'll realize that you're doing the work of 2 people, at least. I love what you're doing with others here. You have great partnership energy with the 4 of Wands. Don't be afraid to ask for help or lean on those partnerships a little bit more. I think that for many of you, there's just a very strong sense of who you are and what you want to do, and these 2 can clash, the Empress and the Strength card. So you may just have, like I said, a different kind of boss where they come in every 5 minutes. How's that going? Did you do this? How about this? Are you sure? And you're like, stop. I'm fine if you would let me work. You may also need to pull out of some of the meetings. One of my later jobs that I was at, I'm not exaggerating, probably 80% of my day was meetings. And I had to stay late every day because so much of it was reporting on status when I could have been doing work. This version of me, older me, I would have just said, I don't need to go to this meeting. Just give me the highlights. I need to get some work done. Okay, other things that I see here, Again, when it comes to just general resources to get something done, there's not enough. And so you may need, we'll look at this more for entrepreneurs, but even in a regular job, you may need to ask for more. Some of you aren't happy. If you're not happy, we need to connect with the loving card, the artist card, find a way for you to be more in that energy of joy. And it's okay to start looking. And that's a nice segue into the next section. But before I jump into that, let me quickly look at entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, streamline what it is that you offer. Maybe put one project or one product to the side and just focus on one. Better to do one thing amazingly well and then have like 3 or 4 things that are just lukewarm. So less but more. I see a bit of a resource crunch. Supply and demand could be playing a part in this. So if you have too many orders and you can't keep up, raise your price. If you're not getting enough, lower your price. If you are constantly working and done all of that, hire more people. Something is lacking in either the supply and demand curve or the resources, like human resources. Something's off there. Also, don't do something you don't like. That's one of the best things about being your own boss. You should like it. So if it doesn't pass that test, then move on, okay? Moving on to those that are job seeking. Can you find work? Yeah? I mean, in the environment, we have 4 of Wands. The card is reversed. So it looks like and good for you, but you're kind of like shooting that Artemis arrow really, really high for something. And when it's more of an exclusive opportunity, it could take more time. You may need a referral, a good referral to get in, maybe a couple, and that will help. I think that it's really important to focus on emotional well-being during this period of job seeking because negativity attracts negativity. So I am worthy, I am ready, I am willing to do this. I think that there is a travel component with 2 of Pentacles. You have to really weigh it out. So if you do look in another city, state, country, or province, make sure that they possibly pay for the move or that you're looking at cost of living. Because living in a city like in America, if you're in Los Angeles or New York, for instance, 2 big cities everyone is familiar with, it's expensive. Versus maybe, something in the middle of the country or in the northern part. Like smaller cities cost less to live in, so you can make less, but sometimes even have more. The same salary in different cities doesn't buy the same things. So make sure you've done your homework on the geography and the cost of living in that geography to make sure that you're not selling yourself short. And maybe you can get more, because I see at the center a very worthy card with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay? Also, Spirit's kind of saying, for some of you, if you have the finances, if you have the resources, why not do it on your own? Because I have lots and lots of Divine Feminine cards and Boss cards. So if you want to start your own business, do it. But it does feel like you might need a loan or a partner. This is partnership. And it isn't just 2. It could be up to 4 people. So you might be doing a small business where you're the primary owner, but you're working with others. But for everybody else, it could be a couple of weeks. I want you to look at the geography and make sure that you're putting that into the equation. And it feels like some of you just want a more creative role because we have the artist here. So please do that. Okay. Now focusing on, let's see, we're looking at students now, right? So, and then we'll do retirees. Students, again, simplification. And again, for everybody, less is more, especially students. I think that you are a little bit overwhelmed at the moment here with the 2 of Pentacles, and you're doing well, you're tracking well, but if there's something that you don't like, change it. That's one of the cool things about being a student. You can change your mind, or you can change your major, you can take 1 class less or more next semester. Learn from the current discord and make it better the next semester. Sometimes, I know, it depends on how quick. Like we are close enough. I was looking at the calendar. I remember from my college days, you have a week or 2 that you can change without it having to be on the transcript. So if you're within that window and you don't like it, then change. And sometimes still change. I remember one time I had a fascination with genetics and I wanted to take a class, but it was way too deep. You needed like a lot of biology, a lot of medical background, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. I'm going to fail the class actually because there's so much. It was too deep of a dive, so I just withdrew. And I think there was a W on my transcript, but it didn't matter because my grade point average was good. And like I've said many times, nobody in the past 10 years has asked me for my transcripts or what I'm doing, especially with what I'm doing. So depending on what your trajectory is, you got to look at like just happiness. Let it go if you need to. Retirees, you deserve to be happy. I think there's too many obligations right now. Four of Wands is where the focus should be, which is friendships, relationships. 10 of Pentacles is where the energy is. This is work and family, and it's not adding up. So pull back a little bit. Also, there could be a lot of open hands saying, I need this, I need that. And at a certain point, you have to also keep enough for yourself. I love that you're generous, but focus on you and encourage other people to find. They've got to kind of get out of the nest. They have to spread their wings. It feels like there's a lot of people that are leaning too much on your good graces, so having better boundaries. Travel, yes. Traveling on a dime, though, making sure that you're looking for a good deal, making sure that you're also getting travel insurance because there might be something where there's a change of date. I do see that. But creative stuff, that's what I'm really focusing on, the Artist and the Knight of Cups. This is a chance for you to really do something for yourself, something fun, something that is just because. Okay, we spent a long time on that, so a little briefer on relationships. We're going to take a dive here and take a look at love. So, interesting energy here. You know, this morning as I was walking Apollo, it wasn't a dragonfly, but it was a scarab. I'll talk about both, but the dragonfly is it goes through metamorphosis, 3 or 4 stages. So for many of you, you're kind of finally spreading your wings, coming out of the water, deciding to be your true self. So this is, to me, one of the best symbols. So if I see a dragonfly or a hummingbird or a ladybug, those 3 mean that things are going to turn out okay. This one is about elevating your thoughts. Like look up, look to the highest possible perspective, look around. The ladybug is good luck. The hummingbird is raise your frequency. Now I saw a scarab beetle, which is reinvent yourself. So the emergence piece connects with that. There are these really big, they're green scarabs, and I think they're fig beetles. They look scary, they make a lot of noise, they wouldn't harm a fly. So I look at them now, I'm like, oh, look at that. So this is a chance for you, and it's a short lifespan when you see them. It's like 2 weeks. So this is perfectly aligned with what we're doing right now. There's major changes happening over the next couple of weeks. When we're looking at relationships, there could be someone entering or exiting. So I'm pulling it all together here. So for those of you looking for love, that's really key for you. But for everyone else, there could be a key partnership that comes in, but it's only here for like a couple days or a couple weeks, and it exits, but it helps you. And that's a really cool kind of energy. I've had that happen too, where it opens the door. You never hear from them again, but it's an amazing door that's open. Let's look at this in 3 categories. Those in a relationship looking for love, happily single. Okay, if you're in a relationship, the 4 of Pentacles is a partner that has a hard time returning on the energy that you give. You share a lot, and they go like, uh-huh, or okay. Or they listen, maybe they're really supportive, but you may now share with me something. They just have a hard time doing that. See if there's other ways that they're sharing. If not, let them know that it brings you closer when they talk a little bit more and that it's safe. I mentioned the skeleton in the closet in the weekly forecast. Suspending judgment when you hear something unusual is going to be helpful. And say, wow, I didn't expect that. Tell me more. Like, don't cast judgment, just ask for more information before you get, and just let them talk. That'll be good too. Because it feels like there may be a lack of safety. They don't feel safe, so they're holding back. Very headstrong energy. One of you is coming through as strength. One of you is the Empress reversed. Both of you are amazing. The Empress reversed likes to get her way. The strength card is like, don't try me, because I'm going to win too. So picking and choosing battles. Sometimes just letting your partner, if they're going to do it, like say, hey, I've got some experience on that, but if you want to try, go for it. If it doesn't work, come back. I can help you. But avoid, I told you so, avoid trying to force the point. And at some point, if this is constant, let's say you're not married, even if you are, but it's constant. That's why the Three of Swords is coming through. There has to be a way to meet in the middle. That's beyond my counsel here, and that's why the Four of Wands is here. This might be about finding a mediator, finding counseling if you really want to solve that. I do see some stubbornness, and we don't have a lot of communication cards. The one that we have is reversed, so it sometimes comes out very short, and that's a challenge. I do love that we have the Ten of Pentacles at the center here. I do like that we have the Page of Cups here. Knight of Cups. But there's a lot of energy going on. I just feel like you guys are pulled in different directions. So finding common goals, common interests, slowing down, and learning when to let the other person do what they want, because there has to be give and take, ebb and flow. Yes. Okay. So what's next? Let me see if there's anything else. I think healing is also a key thing here. There may be something going on outside of the relationship where you just need to take care of one another and support each other, and that's manageable. Okay, focusing now on those of you that are looking for love. Heal yourself first. Take care of you first. Focus on your stress first. Find ways to release that. Put the energy maybe more in friends and alliances, because that is where you're probably going to meet someone. We have a Knight of Cups coming through out of that sort of energy. We also have an Empress, but they both need and want. So one of the things here that we need to focus on is you feeling very self-reliant, very much like this. We have Leo energy coming through too, but I think the key thing here, there's so many different signs and so many different court cards. Clarity on what it is that you're trying to call in, and then self-reliance. And then just some activities, some things where you might meet people. That's all I'm going to suggest on that, because it feels like don't rush. And if someone naturally comes through, great, but there are two things that I want to mention. The Knight of Cups could be on a rebound because we have the Three of Swords attached to it. The Empress may be very keen on immediately getting into a long-term relationship because we have, they're serious, they're not playing around. So that may be too fast-paced for you. I do like the Strength card here. This is a strong person, literally. They know what they want, they're bold. They may make the first move. Could be a Leo. A lot of passion in that energy too. You have like 3 options in front of you. But I think it all hinges on, some of you are working too much, some of you need to heal yourself. Take it easy. Less is more, simplicity. Also, don't date 3 people at once, please, especially with that card down there in your resources. Even though we're looking at love here, less is more. Keep it simple. Okay, if you're happily single at this moment, good for you. Personal development is really strong. Relationship building, very strong. I feel like you could do some healing when it comes to finances and possibly like stress relief, like I talked about. And this is a great time to connect with that inner artist and do something just because it feels exciting. Okay, we are now at Destiny. The Panther. Things are moving quicker than you think. So a Panther is a good hunter. It is stealthy. It is fast. It has great intuition. So if we were to take like the Knight of Swords and the High Priestess and marry them together, that's what I get. Fast moving manifestation and stealth energy. You could take people by surprise in the best possible way. And so if there's something that you wanted to do, you can really make a splash. You can really capitalize on the moment. So I like that, and I think that not delaying when it feels right is the main takeaway on that Destiny card. Let's look at the big idea for this particular spread. This is one thing to focus on. The one thing you really, really need to know for today. Everybody's favorite, the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is in reverse, however. So it's about putting to bed the fears, the anxieties, all the nightmares that we see in this card. A lot of times she's sitting up and it's people's voices, worst case scenarios, all those little things that really shouldn't occupy a lot of time and space. They're all here. They're all going through her head. She can't get to sleep. First of all, sleep rituals are really important right now. So one of the best things that's happened to me in this new space, I still need to buy a bed. I'm going to do that next. That's part of the reason my back is off a little bit. But I have 2 really big windows like this in my bedroom. Every single morning, I am awakened by the sunrise. I don't need an alarm anymore. The light hits my eyes, I wake up, I'm like, oh, it must be time to get up. And when it's nighttime, I don't have any distractions in there because there are no walls for me to put a TV on. So I might look at something on my iPad or my phone for a second or two, and then I'm like, okay, let's just go to sleep now. So perfectly dark when I go to sleep, and then natural light awakening. I've never slept better. I feel fully engaged when I wake up, and that's the best alarm clock. So if you can sleep in a room where the light can wake you up, naturally, unless you're in Alaska or extreme northern parts of Scandinavia, where I know in winter and summer it's different. But like that can help reset your cycle. Avoiding caffeine after like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon can help. Not listening to agitating news before you go to sleep. Putting on Do Not Disturb, not answering your phone around sleep unless it's an urgent message. And not answering work emails and things of that nature. At a certain point, you need to train your body. Now we're going to start getting ready for sleep. Meditation, yes, all of these things will help. And the takeaway in this card is it's not as bad as it seems. Those are just ghosts in her head. That's the 9 of Swords, okay? And for people like me, like that need to improve their sleeping situation, like I need to get a real bed, not my air mattress, go out and get a good bed. I'm listening to my own advice on that one too. So find a good bed, get a good bed frame, change up your pillows and your mattress, get it all put together because you spend an amazing amount of time sleeping, and it needs to be one of the investments that you make. That's good. Good roof over your head, good bed, good form of transportation. These things will help take you through this lifetime. All right. Let's meditate. And then there's one last question that you get to ask me at the end. And that's a silent question, and I'll pull a card on it. So start to think of the question. Let it go for a second. We're going to meditate together, so please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. Let it go. Really deep exhale, too. Couple more inhales and exhales on your own. I'm going to start to paint the stage. Imagine, if you will, that it is a beautiful starry night. If you want to, because we had the artist card, it could even be like a Van Gogh painting where it's kind of swirly energy. You can see galaxies moving, stars moving, everything in these beautiful swirls above you. And imagine that you are on the most comfortable mattress, or maybe even on a puffy cloud looking at these stars and galaxies and all of the things spinning around you. Take a moment here to feel the connection to Source. We don't often realize that we are powerful, we are conduits, and we are here for a purpose. You've been distracted, possibly prior to this reading, by sort of a myriad of other things. In this moment, connect to the fact that you are made of star stuff. Everything on this planet was from a star that went supernova. You have the capacity to shine, to create, to really emanate light energetically. As you look at the swirling stars, galaxies, and quasars in the distance, imagine now that you are starting to glow. You've found your power. Allow for that beautiful cloud to gently put you back into your bed. And from this space, I want you to connect to the best possible dreams in your life. Dreams for love, dreams for success, dreams for fulfillment, dreams for healing and peace, of course, which we definitely need on the planet in this moment in time. Prayers for that as well. And just feel peaceful. Listen to this later. If you have all of those things that are bothering you, this meditation is here to connect you to your power. And now just focus on the energy of a feather. Feel light. Feel like you could just take off and go wherever you need to in the next thought or next movement. And with that, gently open your eyes, feeling as light as a feather. That was good. All right, folks, let's focus on the final question. I actually feel very light in this moment. The Knight of Wands coming through. Again, we're looking at the final card. This is helping you answer whatever question that you had for me. All right. Yes, it's a yes to a yes, no. That horse is making me laugh. I think that there's, well, actually, usually it reminds me a little bit of the horse in the Six of Wands, where he's always looking back like, where are we going? What are we doing? Things are taking off at a pretty decent speed right now. The key thing for you is to keep your head on straight. That's what I'm getting with this. And to keep sort of like, keep the reins, hold the reins, and really direct the horse. So this is almost like chariot energy with this, but don't hesitate to share your point of view. Express yourself in this moment in time. Wands are very creative, so all of this energy around artistic expression is coming through as well. And again, as a yes, no, it's yes. But it's about realizing that there's already 1 or 2 steps that have happened. So let's pick up the pace. Let's make it happen this week. Not in a pressure way, but more in like, what's the delay? You're fine. You're already in the flow. All right? What a magical reading. And I really enjoyed the meditation. And that's because of everybody that showed up. You guys kind of bring to me what I need to talk about. So, and even that card, that 9 of Swords, inspired that very beautiful meditation. So thank you guys. Let's take a couple minutes to express gratitude. I want to, first of all, before we get into that, remind you, it's 100% free. Subscribe. Let's hit that milestone. It would mean so much to me. And I'll do something special, probably viewer's choice. We'll put something out there and you guys, or maybe Q&A. I usually hold like public Q&As on big milestones. So let's do it, folks. I would love to make that happen in the next 4 to 6 months. You can also join me on social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all the major platforms. There's a imposter on Facebook right now. I posted about that. Be mindful of that. I got rid of the one on TikTok. It's like whack-a-mole, that game. I'm constantly... So here's the thing to remember. There will be people out there that will create fake accounts and try to message you, try to chat with you, engage with you in comments. Unless you see that check mark and unless it's attached to my account. It's not me, folks. Be smart, be safe. Let me know if you see it. I do my best. I will file a report and get rid of it. But otherwise, you can always go to my website, or right here on YouTube, the main channel page has all of the official links. If you want to give back, you can do it with super stickers, super chat, and through memberships. I already saw we had some gifted memberships, so thank you. We'll go into that in just a second. And now, gratitude. First of all, thanks to everybody that showed up. It's so good to have you here. I appreciate you. You make this all worthwhile. I'm going to take a couple moments here to give a shout out to those of you that specifically showed some love and support, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let me get to the membership page. So for memberships, I'm starting to do 1 or 2 videos per month that have member-specific perks, like member-only chat or members only. So I'll keep doing that. I feel like that's fun, and it's a great way to give back. And another fun thing, I'm getting close. We have a new podcast guest, and we're trying to get some more. So, there may be some things that I can open up in membership, whether it's like ask a question or behind the scenes or outtakes or something like that. So more to come on that. I am definitely continuing with the podcast, but I'm taking my time. It'll come through later this year, so keep an eye out. Okay. Members, what's going on here? So we're going to welcome the newest members, whether I'm welcoming back or just saying hello. We have a lot today. That's so cool. Okay. I'm going to say the first name only, and I'm going to do my best to pronounce it. Any mispronunciations, apologies in advance. Okay. So the first one is Lily, Dawn, Making My Own DIYs, AB, Amy, Kimberly, Alessandra, Catherine, Mikobi. Let's see. Simi, I think it's Simli, sorry. Raina, SR, Midnight, Bella, Joystna, apologies on that one. Karen, Dabra, Sepolina, Candace, Nun, Taya, Paula, Mags, Positively Groomed, or Grooming, I guess it is, Ancestora, Nicole, HM, and Beverly. Thank you guys. And if I missed anyone, I know that Dakota caught it, so thank you, Dakota, for your assistance on this. All right, let's move on quickly to super stickers and super chat, and then I'll celebrate milestones and whoever gifted things. Super stickers, here's what we've got today. Joe Twist, Jackie, Adrienne, Mel305, Lucy, Quiet Play, Monica, and Jeannie. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. That's a nice selection today. And now let's do the fun part here for those of you that are did any sort of fan funding and have an anniversary. So let's look at these all the way to the top. All right, Schoolhouse Intuitive. Thank you for gifting a membership. Celebrating an anniversary today. Ann Walk, thank you for 10 months. That's awesome. Shelby, thank you for gifting a membership. Let's see, who else? Jackie, 41 months. That is a long time, and I appreciate you. You're welcome for the generosity. Sharon, thank you for gifting a single membership. And then going on and gifting 5 more. You rock. Thank you so much. Leslie, you're why I saw so many. 10 memberships. That's so awesome. And you're a member yourself, so thank you. A lot of you that gifted memberships are members. I appreciate it. Lisa, thank you for gifting 5. That's so awesome. Let's see who else here. Lucy gifted 1 too, as did Patricia, as did Jan. Let's see. Deborah, 16 months. Thank you. I'm really happy that you enjoyed today. You're very welcome. I think that's everybody. And Jeannie, it looks like you might have just given a sticker. Same thing with Monica. And I think I got everybody else. All right, that's it. All right, so thank you guys for making this such an amazing experience. I look forward to these every single Sunday. I walk away with better energy. I hope you do too. If you haven't already checked out the September videos, they are on the main channel page. I just finished Taurus. That'll be up probably later today. And I should be doing Gemini on Monday. So keep an eye out. We're going in order this month. And I did put a poll up to see if you like me switching it occasionally. We'll see. I'm experimenting with that. And that's everything, folks. Take care of yourselves. Wishing you lots of love and light. Thank you for being the best part of what I do here. Oops. I wouldn't be here without you. And Apollo, let me see if I can pull him up for a second. I think he's in the other room, but he just got groomed, and we'll close on an Apollo shot. All right. Look at who looks amazing here. Fresh from the groomers yesterday and still half asleep here. Wishing you guys all the best. Thank you so much. Take care. Stay cool. It is like 103 degrees in Los Angeles today. So I know it is. I saw it in chat. For those of you that are experiencing the heat wave in the Southwest, please take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys soon. Until we meet next. Bye-bye.